Hi friends, I'm Nancy Jacobs from Embroidery It, and welcome to my spare room in the basement, which is the Embroidery It studio here. I know a lot of you have gotten embroidery machines as a Christmas present, and you're new to the world of machine embroidery. It's so much fun, and it's addicting, and I want to take you through some fun projects step by step so you won't be afraid to use your machine. Now, you may see the big machine behind me. That was my birthday present from this last year. But I started on a little brother. It was a 1250D. My largest hoop size was 5 by 7, and I had that for years until I got this monster back here. And so much can be done on the machine that you have. So don't think, oh, I've got to have a big machine to do these fun projects, because you don't. You don't. You just, what you have will work. I promise you. Anyway, so I want to take you through step by step, show you a fun in the hoop project that's super easy, super simple. It's these Happy Valentine's Day sweetheart ornaments. And this is the perfect time because they're made with little candy canes, and you guys can get your candy canes now at 75-80% off in the stores. So stock up on some because they're going to be good for Valentine's Day anyway. So go ahead and stock up, and you can make a whole bunch of these to give to your friends. Make them for your children and grandchildren so they can give them to their friends or their teachers. Anyway, it makes a nice little Valentine's Day ornament. All right, we'll just go through it step by step. What you're going to need to make these is you're going to need a piece of cutaway or tearaway stabilizer to fit your 4x4 hoop. And you're going to need 2 pieces of felt. And I cut my felt at 4.5 inches square. I usually just use scraps that I have laying around the house, but 4.5 inches square to make it easy for you. All right, once you put your design onto your machine, it's going to show you that the first color is red. When you're doing an in the hoop design, that's just industry standard to show you the placement of where your stitching is going to go. And I actually did stitch this out in red because I'm going to cover it with red thread. So this shows the placement. Then your machine will stop after it has stitched the outline. Take one of your pieces of felt and lay it on top of the stitching so that you're covering the stitching. And some people will tape it in place. Some people use adhesive. They use spray adhesive, glue sticks, different things. Honestly, for felt, I don't have trouble with it moving or shifting in my hoop. Sometimes I'll just kind of hold it in place for a couple of stitches. If it's a slick fabric, that's a different story. Then you need something to hold it in place. But for felt that I'm using, nah, you're fine. Just set it in place there. Put the hoop back into your machine and stitch the next color. And that will stitch the outline of the design, and the next one will also stitch the design itself. You're going to, at this point, take the hoop out of your machine. Do not unhoop your design. That's something that it gets to be a habit where you take it out of your machine and you just want to unhoop it. Don't unhoop it. Leave it hooped together. You want to turn it over to the back side and lay a second piece of felt over the stitching. That's just going to give the back side a nice finished look to it. Okay, now here you need to use some sort of tape, something to secure it. If you want to use adhesive, that's fine. I know a lot of people use spray adhesives. I can't get into that because I know that spray adhesive gets in the air. I don't want it getting in my machines. I don't want it getting in my lungs. So I personally just stay away from it. I use good old painter's tape. You buy it on the roll. I keep this handy all the time here in my sewing room. And just tape your corners Once you've taped your corners, you're going to insert it back into the machine, and just kind of be careful that it doesn't accidentally pull away. But if you're careful, you can easily slide this into your machine and stitch the remaining part of the design. And the remaining part of the design is the little zigzag, the little rickrack outline, and then it's also the little holes for the candy canes to slide into, and there's another little hole here to put some ribbon in. Here you can see this is, you can see that a little better. And then when your design is completely finished stitching out, then you remove the hoop from the machine. I take my pinking shears, and I just think that's cute to cut it with a little zigzag. I think it just gives it a nice touch. I take my scissors, and you can cut small holes there. Let's see that closer to the camera. And for the small hole at the top for the ribbon, I use a 1/8 inch hole punch, just a regular paper hole punch, and punch through it. As far as your stabilizer goes, I just cut through mine all the way around. If you wanted to tear it away first, you could, but it's simple. Just cut it around. So when you're done with that, you put your candy canes in, put a little ribbon on. I even tied a little bow there to little extra cuteness on this one. And this is how you make your Happy Valentine's Day sweetheart in the hoop ornament from Embroidery It. And it is also the same as the Merry Christmas sweetheart. So it operates the same way. Guys, it's easy. If you haven't tried in the hoop ornaments, give it a whirl. It's just a couple small pieces of felt. You can use craft felt, you can use wool felt, you can use your acrylic or polyester felt that you buy by the yard, or that you buy by the square in the kids craft area if you want. It doesn't matter. You can use any of those. Felt's a good material to use because it doesn't fray. It just gives you a nice finished, clean, crisp edge. It's perfect for beginner projects. So guys, go over to embroideryit.com. From there, you'll see the link to get to the Etsy shop where you can find the pattern. But while you're at embroideryit.com, be sure you scroll down to the bottom of the page. Two things are down there. One is I always offer a free design every week, and then I change it out each week. Right now, we're going through the letters. I've got the banner letters, and I've done the rickrack. I've got the letter R is available this week, and it'll change out to S here about Wednesday of next week. So there's always something free there. And then when you go all the way down to the bottom of the page, you can sign up for my newsletter. And when you get to my newsletter, I send a newsletter out twice a week, and it will give you all the updates that I have going on here in my Embroidery It studio of all the things that I'm doing. And I'm glad to have you join me, and I will see you soon. Have fun with this project, friends. Talk to you soon. Bye bye now.